Hi everyone, this is Story Talks. I am Sherry Story and I'm on the Suffolk School Board and I represent the Chuckatuck Borough. And Story Talks is a time where I get to talk with people from our area that are associated with Suffolk Public Schools. Today is one of my favorites because I am talking to three IB students who are graduates. And they are most important people to Suffolk Public Schools, our students. They are our just cream of the crop. They are the best of the best. And I'm proud to say I had them all as freshmen in pre-IB biology. They were a tremendous group of freshmen. And I can't believe they're seniors and graduating already. That is just too crazy. But I'm here with three of them today. They're going to introduce themselves to start out with and let you know where they're going to be going to the university next year and what their primary area of study is. So welcome, Rachel. Let's start with you.
Hi, my name is Rachel. I will be attending George Mason University and I'm majoring in neuroscience.
That's
Hello,
awesome.
my name is Madison Stone. I'm going to be going to the University of Virginia, and I'm going to be majoring in chemical engineering with a possible concentration in biotechnology.
Awesome. Victoria.
And I'm Victoria Hira. I'm going to Florida State University, and I'll be majoring in chemical engineering as well.
So look at this, 3 women in science. I love it. And some with a biology flair. So I'm very proud of you. You guys are going to do excellent. I know you are. And that's makes me very proud. So welcome. Thank you for coming to Story Talks. I appreciate that. So I'd like you to start out with, since you are all IB students and IB is, of course, close to my heart, I would like you to share your best academic experience in the IB program. So Rachel, let's start with you.
Academic-wise, I feel as if IB has more prepared me for college. A lot of the previous graduates have said that, their first 2 years were very, very easy and it was a breeze and they were able to pass all their classes with no problem because IB has always pushed them a lot farther than what regular high school has. And I feel like that's going to be it for me as well.
I agree, it will. You're gonna find out that they were students, grads who came back and talked to your class, and I think you'll be returning in either December or January to talk to the class below you, and I bet that will be your experience if you are able to come back. So I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Or pleasantly, you'll meet that expectation. How about that? It won't be so much of a Madison, how about you? What was one of your highlights academically in IB?
Well, one of the main reasons why I joined, sorry, I exited out for a second. One of the main reasons I joined for the first time was because I was trying to be competitive for college. That's one of the main things about IB is why people join. And I found that a lot of top universities I've actually been accepted into. And like the University of Virginia, I was accepted into the engineering school. And I was actually really worried about that because I did not take IB physics. And so I was worried. But having just the name IB on my transcript, I was really competitive with other applicants who may have taken that physics course at AP honors otherwise. And when talking with a dean of admissions at a UVA tour, he told me, even though you haven't taken IB physics, we see that by taking IB mathematics or in your other classes, we know you're able to take the rigor of being able to catch up with the other students once you join the engineering school. And I'm really excited that I'm going to be doing that in the fall and hopefully declare chemical engineering at the end of my first year.
Madison, what a great report. To have that confidence in you, see the kind of grades you pulled in. I know you took IB chemistry, IB math. That's a great testimony. Thanks, Madison. Hey, Victoria, what have you liked about IB? Hi.
One of my favorite parts of IB is the research opportunities that they give us. Like, for example, in every class we have to do an internal assessment. where we research things outside of the classroom pertaining to our subject. So for example, for chemistry, my chemistry IA, I studied the effects of different active ingredients in sunscreen on UV protection,
Nice.
which is actually very beneficial to me, especially since I'm going to Florida. But in all of my classes, I've been able to research things that I find interesting, but have also helped me learn more.
Yeah. Hey, Madison, what was your IA?
For chemistry, actually, I did does caffeine amount and price of coffee grounds, is there a correlation there? Because like Victoria, I kind of had some interest in it, and that one of my sisters really likes to drink coffee. And
Okay.
for my personal engagement, I wrote basically that she prefers like one brand, and I wanted to see if she like the reasoning behind that was really true. And due to some factors, I found that there wasn't a correlation, which, yeah, but I think that has to do with the sample size and things like that, but yeah.
Nice. Well, Rachel, I have to ask you, what was a nice IA that you liked doing?
I think my favorite IA was either my history one or my psychology one. My history one, I wrote it on Stalin and how he used like propaganda to rise. I did it on Stalin because a lot of people view Hitler as like, you know, this big macho man, but they don't realize that Stalin was almost like equivalent, I guess. And for psychology, we did an experiment, the chameleon experiment, where it's if you act a similar way to a person, they'll like you more, basically. And we got to do that with King's Work students.
Hey, nice. I like it, Rachel. Well, thanks for sharing that. So you as seniors are part of this COVID-19, unfortunate to have not been able to finish out your senior year like you would have liked. So the phrase is lemon, you get served lemons, you have to adjust and try to find lemonade out of it. So I'm gonna ask you, it's easy to know what's a disappointment that you've had by not being able to finish out, but then maybe what is something good that's happened too out of it. So Rachel, you wanna share?
Sure. One of the main things that was kind of really tough on me was that we didn't get closure from taking our IB exams. All 4 years we had worked really, really hard, you know, did all these internal assessments, external assessments, and we never really got to do that in the end. Like right now we're supposed to be taking one of our IB exams, but sadly we're at home. I feel like we did get like the big end of the stick though, because, you know, we got out of those exams even just like with the experience that we have, so we're still prepared for college. But like a good thing about it is that I'm able to be more comfortable with myself. I often thrive off of other people, so taking time to myself and figuring out what I like by myself is really, really nice. I've learned to play the guitar, and I've done a lot more art pieces than I would have over the school year.
That's nice. To take up something like that takes that self-initiative, and you had time, and I think you'll enjoy that now, relaxing, you know, when you go to college. That's a really nice, it's a lifelong thing that you'll enjoy. That's very cool. Hey, Madison, what do you think? The good, the bad, and the ugly, right?
I think some bad things are that that we don't really get to see our friends and our teachers, of course, and I'm really grateful for the graduation things that have been formulated for us. But I'm also very sad to see surrounding cities do other things where they're not promising, but giving the option of having traditional ceremonies later in the fall. And one of the main reasons why I really want that is because I've worked 4 years to make my teachers proud of me, to see them, to show them that I'm growing and that I'm ready to go off to college. And also a little bit of me wanted to make my friends proud as well, because we're all doing it together. And it's not that, you know, I wanted to be the best. I wanted us all to be really good. And the fact that I felt like I had grown over the 4 years in the program, I wanted to show my friends that as well. And by having a ceremony, and it was just sudden like that we didn't really have one. But a
Right.
good thing is that I I've been able to work more. I actually opened up the day this all happened. I opened up my schedule.
Uh-oh. Madison? Hey, Madison, we lost you there. I'm going to come back because we lost your voice.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Tell us what the good thing is again. You're working a lot and,
Yeah,
uh-oh, we still lost you. Victoria, we're going to come to you and we'll come back to Madison. Victoria, what are some good and not as good things about the
So
COVID?
one of the most disappointing things for me is that it happened so abruptly. It went from one day of having full-blown schedules, tests, exams preparation, and so on. And then it went to a day where there was going to be no school for a week and then no school for the rest of the year. And everything happened so fast. It was almost as shocking, like numbing in a sense, like not seeing any of your friends for the rest of the year, especially your senior year, everyone's going off. But one of the good things that came from this is I've actually had time to slow down and do other things that I may not have had time to. For example, I've started to cook more, work out, and just kind of relax,
Yeah.
which I didn't have as much time to do beforehand.
Right. And especially with the IB schedule, and if you had taken those exams, there have been a lot of studying, and it would have not been like this at all. It would have sort of delayed your time of relaxation. So this gives you a really nice relaxed start, I think, before packing up and going to Florida for you. So, hey, Madison, do we have you back for?
yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Great.
I was just saying that work-wise, I've been able to work more full schedules almost every other day, and financial-wise, it's really good for my family because I already have 3 older siblings in college right now, full-time. So to be able to kind of save up my own money for college, kind of release the strain on my mom, which is really important to me, and I'm just excited to be able to do that for myself and for my family as well.
Thanks, Madison. That's really great of you. I'm sure your mom is very appreciative, but just for you to be, but for you to be sensitive to that, what great character. So thanks for sharing that. So question I have now, I was a biology teacher at Kings Fork High School, had you, but now I'm on the school board. And so we sort of oversee the entire district, the big picture. And after spending time in our schools, if you could share something that you would share with me now that your journey is done. We heard a lot last night when we presented the Kings Fork Honor Grads, and all of you were part of that and your favorite things. But I'm going to ask you, what is something you could share with me as a school board member that you think could be tweaked a little improvement that could happen for those coming up in Suffolk Public Schools? Could you share something like that with me? Rachel?
I think that Suffolk Public Schools could use more hands-on activities, whether it's field trips or just events in general. During the honor grad ceremony, my favorite memory was doing our homecoming dance, and that was really important to me because that was Kings Fork's first homecoming dance in a really, really long time. And students actually planned that themselves. We all decorated and made decorations all together with the help of the staff, and that was really, really fun. That was honestly better than last year's prom in my opinion. And also another hands-on thing was our IB group 4 trip, and we went around to the creeks and we planted oysters in the Chesapeake Bay to help clean out the water, and we were just able to learn about the different environments and the different instruments used to make sure that our areas are clean.
Thanks for sharing that. I think that's a very good recommendation. Thanks. Madison?
For me, I would have to say something with accountability or in that nature, because I've noticed over my experience in Kings Fork for the past years, overall it's been a positive experience. I'm better from it, but there have been some instances where I've noticed that rules may apply to other students based on different factors that shouldn't factor into where we apply the rules, and sometimes those rules have been applied equally, but the consequences have been of different severity. So I think that that should be looked into, and yeah.
Okay, thanks. That's a very good critique, and I appreciate that. Thanks. Victoria?
One, excuse me again. One major thing I've noticed specifically in this year has been with the mandatory computers that each student has gotten over I think it was middle school and high school. Although it does very much help a lot of students, especially who don't have computers.
Right.
For example, I already had a computer and I wouldn't want that extra responsibility of holding a computer without just for no reason. I would prefer it be almost in a sense, if you need a computer, to take one, and that saves a lot of responsibility on the students.
That's a good suggestion. And I'll look into that. I like that. That could help us with numbers, and I'll see what is sort of behind that thinking. If you have your own laptop, if you have your own something, maybe that's so you could just use it and then not have to check one out. Madison?
I just want to add on to that. Yeah, I didn't really like the Chromebook initiative that Dr. Gordon introduced because us IB students, we spend a lot of our textbooks are online, and specifically for our English class in Miss Magna, almost every day, every class, we would have some sort of assignment online. And with the whole Chromebooks and getting that sorted out at our school, we had almost 2 weeks where we didn't have computers, and it was very frustrating and kind of annoying that we didn't have them. So yeah.
Okay, well, great. Well, those are good things, going forward, knowing that in upper level classes like IB or AP, if there's a lag time of 2 weeks, that's a lot of materials that you don't have access to something. So that's, I'm glad you shared that. That was something that we should, I can pass forward, and something we can consider to do it better so you don't have that lag time. So those are all good things. Would you like to share anything else just spontaneously? Do you have anything you'd like to share? No? Okay. Yes, Rachel.
I just want to thank all of my teachers and my friends for supporting me. Being at Kings Fork was a very big shift for me because I was zoned for Nansen River, and I've been here all my life. So everyone at Nansen River was just all I knew. And going to Kings Fork, it was a very different environment, and I'd never really shifted anywhere before. But my friends and my teachers made it a lot easier, and it was a really, really great experience. And I'm really glad that they've pushed me this far. So
nice. Madison?
First of all, I want to say thanks for a shout out at that honor grad ceremony. My mom was like, "Oh my gosh, how you doing?" I was freaking out. But also, I want to say that although there are many things I remember at high school, some of my closest friends that I had over my time there, one thing I truly will remember are the teachers who have influenced me to who I am today. I love them so much, and I really hope, although I'm the last stop on the IB tour because I live in Portsmouth, I'm the last stop on Tuesday. I really hope all of them will make it to my house, and I really hope I'll be able to see some of them. So
that's great. Thanks, Madison. I think they'll really try to do that. How about you, Victoria?
Just thank you to all the teachers and my friends who have made along the way. Yeah, that's really it.
Yeah. Well, I think the teachers would, knowing them, they would thank you for all the hard work that you put in, and what great students you were, working so hard and trying to accomplish all their expectations to the best. And I know that the IB program is something to be very proud of that you've accomplished, and I'm very proud of you. You will do very, very well. And I can't wait to watch every year. There were students graduating this year from UVA that I had, and continue to give them a shout out. And so it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch our students just become very successful. And I have no doubt that the three of you will be very successful. Thank you so much for doing Story Talks. I know people are going to love listening to this, and I really appreciate you meeting me here. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Have a good day. Bye.